many, many years. I'm a painter mostly, and I'm part of the modern art movement, basically. We're going to talk a little bit today about what that means and what the different types of divisions of art historically are. And we are currently in an age where art is reflecting society as it always has, but it's taken on a new movement in the 21st century where we're not necessarily always representing what's out there. We're representing our heart, our emotions, our feelings about society, our experiences, and sharing the soul of the artist through artwork with all of you. So today, if you'd like to call in, you can call 423-800-8949, 423-800-8949. And if you are involved in the arts or you simply love the arts, especially if you're involved in the arts reaching into the community in a volunteerism way where you have a heart to reach the world, the community, with a form of art that encourages and uplifts, that's something I'd love to hear about. So I'm always here to talk with all of you in the arts. That includes music, writers, dance, poetry, comedy, improv, all of that. And I am going to reach out and say I have been spending a lot of time with Chattanooga Improv Chattanooga and First Draft Theater. And if you go to the show this weekend at First Draft Theater and you say you heard about it on the Art Beat of Chattanooga, you're going to get $3 off on your ticket. So I'll personally be there selling tickets Friday evening. I support the venue. They've got a new location, 1800, actually trying to remember the street now, but look it up, First Draft Theater, Improv Chattanooga. If you want to have some fun laughs for a really good price, join us Friday night. And they also have shows Saturday night and other evenings. But if you mention the Art Beat of Chattanooga, you're going to get a $3 off on your ticket. So I'm just putting that out there. Go have some fun because Chattanooga is fun. We are the scenic city. We are a beautiful city that has produced, a level of arts, entertainment, culture here that's growing and expanding into the world, and Chattanooga and beyond. We're not isolated here. We're a melting pot of diversity, arts, creativity. This city is so full of things to do and people making things happen, movers and shakers. We have everything, the Bessie Smith Cultural Center. We have the Heart Gallery that helps homeless and disabled people, things like that. So many not-for-profit art and artist organizations here, as well as venues for every sort of entertainment you may wish. So, I hope that if you're listening, watching, whatever today, and you haven't come to Chattanooga, come and see this beautiful, beautiful city with the historical walking bridge that connects the North and South Shores. Both have their own flavor of eclectic and artistic value. The cuisine and the breweries here in Chattanooga are just marvelous. So it's a brilliant city, and I hope you'll just join us here in Chattanooga. And also, if you're an artist of any kind and you would like to share, get a hold of us here at Nooga Radio and the Art Beat of Chattanooga, and I'll be happy to get you on the show and share about your art, your vision here in Chattanooga. So, to me, it's just so important because art and society connect. They reflect one another, and without both, we just have like an empty void. So all through history, artists have been representing the times, wars, love, death, beauty, nature, and the actual definition of art is a diverse range of human activities in creating visual, auditory, or performing artworks, expressing the author's imaginative or technical skill, intended to be appreciated for their beauty or emotional power. So art is a verb. And when we say it's intended to be appreciated for its beauty, there is some premise, I believe, in the world that art should be beautiful, so to speak, quote unquote. The beauty in it is when the heart of a person who expresses themselves through the arts connects to another person who experiences the arts, and you become one in a sense that you're joining in this emotion. You're joining in understanding the statements to society that are made. It can be, I have pieces that are very dark or sad, but they're still beautiful because they move the soul and the heart. So it doesn't have to be flowers or scenic, pretty things. Art can be whatever you, the artist, and someone else connects with. Some dance, some plays are very sad. They involve death. A lot of films, which are art, involve horrific, graphic violence and things like this. But we relate to that. And that's really what art is about, is relating to each other on an emotional level where we're connecting as human beings. And that's why it's so important to me, I think, is each of us has that inner need to feel like we're heard, feel like someone else understands what goes on in our mind or heart, to feel valued and to show our value and love of others and society through this. So it takes artists and it takes art lovers. It is a symbiotic circle. Sometimes I'll meet people and, well, I'm not an artist. And okay, that's good. That's cool. Because if we all were, that'd be a pretty boring world. It takes all of us to make the world go around. And artists aren't above anyone on a level. It's just something that we're born with, where to communicate in this way. It could be writing, it could be drawing, it could be painting, it could be dance, it could be comedy, so many things, filmmaking. And it's on and on. So, it's about sharing the way we experience the world, and the beauty is a measure of emotion, a gauge of how successful we are at communicating our most profound emotions to others. So that all said, this first half of the show, I'm going to kind of take a little liberty and explain a little bit about my dream, which I've touched on here and there. And I did post on Nooga Radio Facebook that if you are a breast cancer patient or survivor, family member, friend, I'm going to share a little bit more of my dream that I've been working on for 3 years. And it's called Impressions of Breast Cancer. Now, I have not experienced breast cancer. I do have, there is some history of it in my family. And for whatever reason, the dream that I was given concerning this is mine, and I follow it. So basically, the idea of this is to utilize art as an aid to cancer patients and survivors, and to create the work within the parameters of a not-for-profit organization. So if you're out there and this triggers something in your heart, or an avenue, I have reached out to some local things here in Chattanooga, but I like some feedback. What do you think? Are you a survivor? Does this seem like something you feel would help you heal or share your story? So basically, I begin a painting by, it can be many ways. I can do a drawing, an actual portrait or figure drawing of somebody, but I began this dream with creating impressions of a human figure on canvas. And the idea here is to either pre-surgery or post-surgery to impress the body of a patient or survivor in paint on the canvas, and it builds a representation of the figure that it kind of here's a picture of it if you're viewing. Here's one, and this is a model that's not a breast cancer survivor. I'm still building to learn how to relate to all of you who have had to have surgery, single mastectomies, double mastectomies, all of this. But this is an actual human impression of a woman, and she still has both breasts, and I believe it communicates a message. So if you're a patient or a survivor, I'm curious, because it really means something to my heart. Would a painting like this be something you as a survivor would want to have done, or pre-surgery, post-surgery? Maybe you'd want to have a piece similar done, and there's many options that can happen there. Either creating, say you've had a single mastectomy, I can create what looks like almost a tattoo, where you have had the surgical removal of the breast, or I can represent pain if you wish through that. It's up to the survivor. It's up to the heart of the person who's gone through this for me to represent what you need. And, I really believe in this dream. And why, I'm not really sure. But honestly, I haven't had a mammogram since I was 40, and I'm a little bit older than that now. So it's a reminder to myself as well that this is important. And how can I represent this if I don't follow through and take care of myself? So also reaching out to women and saying, take care of yourself. There's free clinics if you don't have insurance and this sort of thing that you can go to and get help with this. And, this is art related because women's bodies are art. And I know survivors who have literally shared with me that they do not feel beautiful anymore. They hide their body or they aren't comfortable with it. And then I've also seen women who embrace the change in their body and simply love and live their life and are thankful that they're still here. So anyway, you look at it, if you are interested in this, if it triggers something in you, I'd love for you to contact the station, get a hold of me, and let's talk. I am still looking for models survivors who want to try this, to work with me in learning how to best approach people going through this with a respectful, reverent approach. And it's very professionally done. I am a professional artist, Vanguard Artistry. I've been an artist since I can remember. So this is, and then there's the whole thing where I've been working on getting my show into galleries in Chattanooga. And it's kind of crazy because here in Chattanooga, if you drive through the city, we have sculptures all over the place, naked women, naked men. At the Hunter Museum, there's a beautiful sculpture of a naked woman. When you drive across the Market Street Bridge, there's beautiful sculptures of naked women. And yet, oftentimes in this city, when we present nudes to galleries for a show, they shy away. Oh, I don't know. And that is a great frustration to me as an artist because all the way back through time, the human figure has been represented as beautiful, as a highly valued part of art. It hasn't been represented in the past in art as being vulgar for the most part. And I think maybe society turning more and more toward the internet and much more ability to seek out and reach out to pornographic images and things has put almost a taint on the fact that we have nudes. Why? The Sistine Chapel nudes. You go to the Louvre, you're going to see so many nudes. Matisse, all of this, So I kind of really in Chattanooga having this dream of hopefully reaching into the heart of breast cancer survivors and patients and potentially ministering to their story, helping them express their beauty or their pain, whatever they want, to help this city to recognize and embrace that this is a part of art. And us as a city, Chattanooga, being such a creative and beautiful artistic city, we are a part of this modern renaissance that's going on and leading the way to say, it's all right. Let's not shy away from the human figure in art, in our galleries, in our museums. It's a part of life. And there's life drawing classes going on all over in the campuses and other places. Here in Chattanooga, artists are working with the human figure constantly. But I do challenge you to go visit galleries and find nudes in Chattanooga. It's pretty tough. There's so little. And it's not like, oh, I'm going to search for nudes like you are, Pokemon or whatever. But seriously, I believe it's a missing part of our moving forward as an art community here in Chattanooga. So, like I said, if you are a survivor, this may sound very strange to you. I can assure you that it's done with reverence and respect. And I'm extremely aware and tuned into what someone wants for their own story. How do you tell your story? I have other options, drawings, paintings, things like this. The impressions, though, is an actual placing of your energy and your body onto the canvas, and it captures all of that in there. So that's why I'm excited about sharing that. And so if you're a nonprofit grant writer or whatever, I'm looking for people to join me in this journey of sharing this and helping women, and beyond that, reaching into the community towards women who've been abused, homeless, so many things. I've been homeless. My apartment was condemned. I came home condemned for human habitation signs on my door after a fire in my wall. And I, as a professional woman, had a difficult time finding any direction. What do I do now? Can I access my home? And through that, going to government agencies, I would see women and children sitting in chairs that had been there for hours trying to get some sort of assistance. And, we don't know the horrors they may have gone through, the abuse, the control, the sudden death of a mate or something like this, a father. The women who've gone through abuse, rape, all these things. I'm hoping this eventual organization, the Impressions series, will reach into the lives of many women and minister and tell their stories through art about the struggle this society has to this day with women being an equal part of things, with women being empowered, self-empowered, with single moms being recognized as needing some support in the society as they raise their kids, potentially with no child support. For women like myself, married 26 years, now single, no alimony, no nothing, stayed home, raised my children. I was an artist the whole time, but that's a starving artist. That's just how it goes. But where is the support for females in society? Our wages are lower. Getting apartments and things like that for a woman and kids can be very difficult because you have to show your income. And sometimes these moms are stretched to the limit. And so I want to also bring this organization eventually into representing the further struggles of society concerning women in society and the modern day struggles we're still going through. So I hope that reaches out to somebody and lets you know that Nooga Radio, myself, the Art Beat of Chattanooga, it's Chattanooga and beyond. It's art and beyond. Art represents society, affects society, and reflects society. So without that, it's just a piece of something. When someone creates a dance or a poem or a painting, they're taking a part of their heart and sharing it with you. So I'm saying to the listeners, you can share that part with me, and I'll do my best to turn that into a visual image that impacts society for your personal experience, because you matter. Each one of us matters. We each have a story. We could each write a novel about our life, a biography, autobiography, because everyone's struggle is crazy in this world. And, when you compound that with something like breast cancer in the middle of your life or any other cancer, because last week I had my daughter, Brittany Hemphill, on, and she has a disease, familial adenomatous polyposis. And that is a condition that will result in colon cancer if you don't have your colon surgically removed. So that connects with the cancer situation. And she now does artwork because through her battles and struggles, she's become incontinent. And she produces artwork to reach out to other adults who may be in that horrifying situation. People are afraid to share it. They feel embarrassed. It creates a great complications and expense in life. But it's kind of, I guess, a little bit of a family thing going on here. We want to share, reach out, help, touch lives. So, you can find this kind of support here if you do have a situation where you are a woman and you want to communicate some pain or struggle or joy in your life. Certainly the joy of childbirth is an amazing thing. But really, much of the things that are ignored is the uglier part of life that we don't want to talk about. We don't want to admit I've been raped. We don't want to admit I've been homeless. We don't want to admit I'm so depressed I can't get out of bed. It's hard to say I have breast cancer and I've had a mastectomy. These sorts of things are big, big challenges that we go through as women. And as an artist, I really want to support all of you and reach out in any way I can to tell the story, tell your story, because it's important. So, so I've been a local artist here in Chattanooga for about 4 years. I've been in the North, New York State and Michigan prior to that, also involved in art since I was very young. and, had a great childhood and all of that. But adult life, wow, who knew, right? Who knew how difficult it was going to be to adult and make things happen in your life? So really, if you are going through a diagnosis of breast cancer, you have my prayers, my support, and truly the support, if you want it, of expressing your journey through artwork to hopefully eventually be having auctions and things like this, that the cause will support breast cancer research. The real goal of this is to have awareness. We have a Breast Cancer Awareness Month coming up in October. So, I'd love to engage some of you and have a pop-up show supporting breast cancer awareness. And, I invite you to please contact me on Nooga Radio here. You can email us on Facebook or message me on Facebook here and get a hold of the station. You can also go to my website, Vanguard Artistry, and I have a personal email there. So, and you can also see some more of the impressions pieces there that I have done. They vary. Some of them are immediate impressions like the one I showed you, and others I go back into and create much more movement color depending on what the model feels they want. The model, the patient, you. What do you want to say to the universe about your journey? I've seen a lot of victorious women sharing pictures of themselves, tattoos on their chest. They've been through double mastectomies. They're survivors. They're victors. They're not victims. Let's be victors. And that doesn't remove the pain and the struggle and the grief that a woman must go through in losing that part of her body and knowing that she has the scary C word going on. Cancer is a word no one wants to hear in a diagnosis. So, but we can raise awareness, raise funds. We can build the confidence and help you feel more beautiful because you are beautiful. And, help you to become a survivor of victory. So thanks for joining us on the first half of the Art Beat of Chattanooga. I'll be back in a few minutes. We're going to have Dan Bowers from Arts Build in Chattanooga as a guest on the second half. And I really look forward to showing you all the wonderful things that's going on there. We'll see you in a few minutes.
The Tennessee Valley's news, talk, and sports leader. Nooga Radio, AM 1240 and 92.7 FM.
Now, me being a radio guy, I'm really not good with vehicles. Never changed my own oil, can barely change a tire, and sometimes when I hear a clanking, I just turn the radio up louder. Not a real good idea. So I need to be able to trust someone when they look at my vehicle. Well, I found the guys. Locally owned and operated here in Chattanooga. It's Precision Tune Auto Care. They're your neighbors. There's 3 locations in Chattanooga. And since they're Nooga Radio's official oil change center, they're going to extend the great deal they give to us to you. Just $20 for a standard oil change. Can you imagine that? $20 for a standard oil change. You're in and out in no time. $20 for a standard oil change at Precision Tune Auto Care. And they treat all of their customers like family. With show and tell, they'll show you what's wrong, point out the problems, and tell you exactly what it will take to get fixed. They really do have pride in what they do at Precision Tune Auto Care. Precision Tune Auto Care with 3 locations.